Ben Braun, Evolution Martial Arts in Sparks, Nevada with Rich. We're going over half guard. First thing I want to talk about is connection options. Okay, so this is worst case scenario. He's got me flat. We need to know what our feet can do. I have to connect with my feet. So the most useful is both feet inside to me. This isn't great, I'm not connected. I want to be able to move Rich's center of gravity, AKA his hips. So I can move him now, but I can barely move him now. I'm not connected. So both feet inside, rudders, turns his hips that way. I can go both feet outside. There's only a couple times we want to do this when we're sweeping that way, right? And then kind of the fancy thing we can do with both feet inside, over his, over mine. So I go over, over, under. That's lockdown. I'm really connected. I can really move now, but I can't move my own hips. That's the downside to this. I can move your hips, but I can't move my hips. To move my hips, I need my feet on the floor. So that's the options with our feet. Options with our hands. Really what we want to get in the habit of, we got to get this pressure off our neck, because when Rich is dropping pressure on my neck, even if I have the underhook, I can't hip out this way because he's turning my head, right? So if they have a good seat belt, number one is pull that pressure, right? I pull my elbow to my ribs and I get that pressure off of me. I want the underhook. So my legs are going to help me get that underhook by creating space. This hand can also help by doing things like this. Yeah. Sucks, right? Yeah. You were just saying, you're doing that well. You're just being a pain, right? Boom. Also, I can get the underhook. Not everything needs this underhook. But if you can't get an underhook in half guard, you're gonna struggle. So the habit is get the underhook, feet inside, okay? This hand can also mess with the head. It can get in here, it can frame. It can get in the armpit, move people that way. This hand should be active. I saw you guys posting on the hip here. I can also post on this knee. We didn't cover this, but I can post on this knee and get to close guard from there. Everything should be working. If one of your hands and one of your feet is not working, you're wrong. Okay, so we had the basic half guard escape video we already did last week. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about a couple other sweep options. Okay, so I start, you're chest to chest, I get my underhook, however I get it. I want to build a base, I want to hip out this way. If I can't hip out, it's because your hips face me. So I need to turn your hips a little, right? Can you flatten me out now? It's hard to, yeah. So I can start getting up, but if I'm having trouble, I need to take more control here. All right, then I get up, head connected. So what you're gonna do about this usually is try to whizzer my arm. And we were just talking about this. If I leave my underhook high, you have a good whizzer. The idea is to put my shoulder on the mat, like that. That's what whizzers do. A whizzer is an overhook counter to my underhook. How do I negate your whizzer? Do you remember?
Put your hand on my hip.
I bring my hand lower and I connect my head. Anytime you have an underhook, you guys, anywhere, standing, on the ground, anywhere, your head has to be part of it. If you have all this space, if we're standing, you'd frame my head away. Yeah, right? It's not frame my head away now. Can't, you see? So any underhook has to have a head connection. So what Rich is gonna do a lot of times here, he's gonna be making it hard for me to get up like this by whizzering and then putting pressure on my hip with his hip. Remember, so you're trying to flatten me back out this way. This is a pretty common reaction. What I'm gonna do here is stay connected to your leg. So can you see this in here? This connection, I'm squeezing. I got my head connected. Rich starts pushing into me. I'm gonna scoop my hips under and take them over. A lot of times you won't even be able to let go in time. Let's go back. It's a timing thing. So this is, we're having this battle. I'm trying to get up and he's trying to flatten me back out. So I'm I'm pushing into him, he's pushing into me, and then I go. It's a timing thing. It can't happen real slow. Okay, you do it. So you got your underhook. Get the underhook. Yep, and then I whizzer, head connected, and I'm pushing into you like this, right? See how I keep pushing into him? And then whenever you're ready, you take my momentum and you take me over. Whoop, there we go. I don't know what the sweep's called. I call it a scoop sweep. Because in my mind, you're scooping your hips under their hips. If they're not pushing into you, this sweep isn't there. You don't want to pull them. What it is you're so connected. I'm so connected. I'm trying to get up that when I start to go, you come with me. I'm not pulling. Okay?
Yeah.
So one thing that can happen is I go to sweep you and you put this arm out. Right, but then at that point, like I can build my base, usually, right? Another variation on that sweep, whizzer me, okay, is I'm gonna underhook this leg right here. And we found that that's even easier. So again, you have to be giving me pressure. What's cool about this is your initial reaction to getting swept might be to hip out. But if you can't put your foot on the ground, you can't hip out. So I took that away from you. So that's a variation on the scoop sweep. Let's have you do it. So you got your underhook, you're trying to build a base. I'm not letting you build a base because I'm pushing. So same thing, but you're gonna underhook that leg and away we go. And I can't hip out because you have this. So there's lots of things you can do with that. We're not gonna get into that. Last one. I got this from Jiu-Jitsu. You know, pretty much nothing I do is, I didn't make any of this up. Like, Jiu-Jitsu already existed. When I know exactly where I got it from, I'll say where I got it from. Jiu-Jitsu, which is a resource I use. Dude is great at teaching. Really, really good. So like I said, I'm a black belt, and I still want to see what other people say about stuff. I have some go-tos, Lachlan Giles, Henry Akins, Grappling Academy. There's a few places I go kind of always when I want to refresh on something or even learn some new stuff. So this one's called a giggle sweep. That's what he calls it. And the reason is when you get swept with this, it makes you giggle because you're like, how did that happen? So this one is more from like a knee shield type position where I'm framing, I'm keeping distance, and Rich's objective is to get chest to chest and flatten me out. So in doing so, you're gonna give me access to your hands, right? You're gonna be either trying to work on this knee, that, or you're trying to grab my head, that. That's how I get control of this. I think of it like an arm drag. I'm trying to bring this in here. Now, what I wanna do is get both my feet on the outside, and again, I'm trying to get my hips under your hips. So I can grab you here, I can grab you here, but you can see. So my hips are under your hips. And then that's the giggle part. You're like, what just happened? Okay, your turn, get your knee shield. So you guys, you don't wanna be flat. I love knee shields, connected. Rich has the hip to shoulder angle going, I like that a lot. Some people play here. The downside of that is I can flatten that out. And those who are good at this know how to deal with that, but I really like this angle a lot. So we're going here and I give you access. So now both feet on the outside and you're looking to scoop your hips under mine. I can't stop that. There's no way to stop it. Giggle sweep.
You forgot to giggle.
Yes. I made people giggle when they got swept today. I tell the students, these videos ultimately are for the students of this school. That's why I make these videos. Some other people like them, comment on them. Awesome, I appreciate that. Like and comment and subscribe. Smash it, right?
Smash that like button.
Please. Anyways, but the videos are for the people in this class. And what I tell them is, don't memorize these sweeps. Use the sweeps I'm teaching to understand how sweeps work. That's what I want you to do. Because then you can get creative. You can come up with your own variations. Your partner in a live roll is unlikely to do exactly what we did in the drill. So we use the foundation of what I'm teaching, the scoop sweep, the giggle sweep, the underhook, lockdown to underhook, hip out, right? Dog fight, knee pick, that's the previous video. You use that as a foundation. When you can do those things, the fundamental concepts that make those things work, then you can do anything that works for you. Against any person who's they're giving you pressures, so you understand underhooks, you understand base, you understand posture, you understand getting your hips under people, and then you can sweep people. Sweep theory is simple, you guys. You connect to the person in a way that can move their center of gravity. You take away their ability to base, and then you move their center of gravity in that direction. So just using butterfly sweep, because it's like the most basic. I want to sweep Rich that way. I have to control this so he can't base out. I get a little angle, I start moving his center of gravity, and I sweep him. And that's as basic as it gets. So all of these sweeps from half guard follow those same principles. Right, you got anything? No. And you were doing all those, everyone was doing them. We had a guy whose first day today, and he was doing it. Because I'm just an amazing teacher, that must be it, right? Actually what it is, look, I try to boil it down, and then great training partners. That's what it is. You guys are helping each other.
I do got something for you.
Go for it.
It's a timing thing too, right? You
Yes.
gotta feel that, like you said, the center of gravity. You have to feel where that's at and try to land the timing to be able to move that.
Correct. So the way I was terming it in here and what makes sense to me is lead the dance. I want you reacting to me, even if I'm on bottom, right? If you're reacting to me, you're not attacking me. You're dealing with what I'm doing. And eventually I'm going to find where that weakness is in your base, where I can take you, and I take you. And let's say you react to that, you put a hand out, then I go the other way. But I'm still leading that dance. And it's timing. So for new people at this, the thing you do at first is you do the wrong thing at the wrong time, which is wrong. That's pretty basic. And you do a lot of that when you're new. My job is to help you know what the right thing is. So I give you the right thing, principles, how this works. But you're doing it too late. The other people have been doing this longer. You do the right thing at the wrong time, it's still wrong. And in your brain, you say, that doesn't work. I shouldn't do that. Don't let yourself get caught in that thinking. Right? And that's part of my job. I go, ooh, you were just a little late there. Yes, do that again. Pretty soon your timing gets better. Now you're doing the right thing at the right time and you experience success. And that is the feedback loop we want to attach to. Even if you're doing it and you got to start catching stuff. Oh, God, I almost had it. Yes, you're this close. Keep at it. Keep at it. And then you start having success. And now you have a tool that's actually in your toolbox. It's sharpened. It's ready to go. I appreciate that.